All right. Well, I'm getting the indication that we are currently live on YouTube, which is awesome because we have a really, really special Friday, Feedback Friday. We'll be giving you guys feedback on what we know you wanted to listen to and hear and learn more about. And it is absolutely insane. I've titled this today the Real Estate SMS Marketing AI Marketing. And this is, if you saw the thumbnail, you're thinking, well, what the hell is that? Well, I'm promising you we're going to get to that because coming up next, we're going to be talking about why. The picture of that person on there is my full-time marketer, and I don't have to pay her. She works 365. She works 24/7. She works every single day of the week, and we're generating motivated seller leads on autopilot for sure, like real autopilot. We're going to talk about that and not just why I'm doing it or how I'm doing it, but we're going to talk about how you guys can do it too. So stick with us. And of course, we'll get to your questions and stuff. We're taking questions live as well, but we'll also take some questions related to this topic that you guys have been asking. So welcome to Feedback Fridays, Real Estate Investing Made Easy. Enough about me and what we're going to cover because the man behind all of this is here with us, and it is Sean Shirk. Sean, I would love to introduce you, and I'll just say he's a genius when it comes to what he does. I'm going to let you tell us a little bit of your backstory. How did you get started in this AI world of marketing and real estate, and share some journey? Because it's probably not unlike a lot of you who are listening to this, except you don't have to go through a lot of what he did, which he's going to share because there's an easy button. Sean, it's good to have you on here, man. Thanks for coming
Hey
on.
Christian, yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm really excited to be able to speak to this topic. I am a self-admitted ex-failed wholesaler. I know you guys had more success than I have with wholesaling, but my origin story is basically starting off doing wholesaling for about 6 months, building my own systems, hiring VAs, and downloading leads and spending upwards of probably $10,000 and not getting a single deal. After that, I had the luck of meeting, my business partner, Bill Hawthorne, who taught us creative real estate methods, which, if you're not aware, is instead of, wholesaling, where you're having to find these unicorn sellers and negotiate over a 30% discount, you're able to pay their price and rather negotiate on the terms to make your profit. And it's within a month of switching over to using creative methods and the system, we had our first deal. And, since then, we scaled up to doing multiple deals a month. I've done millions of dollars of creative real estate deals without needing any bank loans, and do them in any state. So right now I'm in Peru and I live in Florida part-time, and all of our properties you have never seen, and that's possible through technology. So for 2 years I was investing with systems and technology while working a full-time job. So I know what it's like to be an investor that only has an hour or 30 minutes a day to do deals. I know how important it is to automate and systematize things so that you're actually doing the high dollar per hour tasks, like talking to sellers and closing deals, instead of spending all your precious hours, pulling lists or trying to reinvent the wheel and make your own systems, which, is what I had to do. So that's pretty much how we started off and how I got into creative real estate.
Yeah, your story is not unlike many other people's stories. And I love the fact that you're open and you're admitting that I am a failed wholesaler. Here's the
Yeah.
deal. Not everybody is going to be successful in real estate investing, just as 98% of the real estate agents out there are basically doing nothing. And that's not a knock on agents. I'm a realtor too. Here's my point though. He's talking about those high priority tasks. Those are revenue generating activities. And how much time are you as an investor spending on those revenue generating activities? If you have a 9 to 5 job, we're full time in this. This is what we do now, but it wasn't always the case for Sean. And he had a system actually that he built, and it's way smarter than any system I have ever built because it's doing it for him in a creative space. And on this channel, Real Estate Investing Made Easy, we're all about creative real estate investing. It's just about getting a deal done, doing
Yep.
what works, what makes sense for the seller. So when you're 30 minutes to an hour a day, what are you doing? Are you trying to build systems? Are you manually following up with prospects? Are you manually targeting prospects and then trying to convert them to leads yourself? If you are, that is a good activity to be doing. But what's better is if you're on the phone, just like Sean said, with motivated seller leads, closing deals, locking up contracts. And sure, are there learning curves when it comes to what this creative stuff is? Yes. However, why I'm super excited to share with you exactly what that system is, who Mia is in my own business, thanks to Sean. What's more important right now is to discuss like what is possible for you, and him sharing his story. Just, I mean, I hope that it resonates with you because it's not unlike mine. Failed wholesaling. Man, I spent over a year to get my first deal in real estate investing. And the first deal that I did was creative. It was a subject to seller finance deal, a pre-foreclosure, and I made $250,000 on a flip. My first one was a flip. So and now that number could have been 5,000 and I still would have been stoked. I bet you anything. Like, you can drop it in the comment section below. How many of you would say, I just want to do a deal for the experience. I don't care if I break even. I've heard that a lot. Stop thinking that way. I had to stop thinking that way. This is about revenue generating activities. It's revenue, it's business. It's not just college education. It's not education. Of course, we'll talk about that more, but so that actually kind of leads me to a question. I know that you talked about your own experience. I'm obviously benefiting, me and my partners in our business, Lazarus Property Group, from your platform that you've built, which we're going to get to. But you've shared it not just with us, but with hundreds of other users, anywhere from beginners to advanced. So we're the advanced that plugged in, right? And I think you have how many clients right now that are actively using what you built to market for their business and generate leads like that?
Yeah. Right now we're up to around 200 investors that are, I know a lot of other systems. It's like this is one part of their system, and then they duct tape three other systems together. Our system's built by investors, by us, for investors, and it's an all-in-one system. So you literally run your whole business, your whole real estate business, your whole marketing, all in one place. And we have 200 investors right now that are running their entire real estate business on our platform. And like you said, our whole goal is let you focus on the revenue generating activity, which is just calling motivated sellers that want to talk to you, and not worry about, basically what we've done. The system is, when I was working full time, I felt that pain. Every single like administrative task I had to do was 1 hour that was taken away from talking to sellers and possibly making a deal, and just, not fun work. Not only was it, killing my business, and I was doing a $5 per hour task, is grueling. I mean, if anyone who's downloaded a list and skip trace lists and upload lists and try to build their own system, it's not fun, nor is it, a good thing to do. So yeah, now our whole goal is taking beginners and, putting leads in their system for them, texting them for them, doing the follow-up for them, literally everything possibly done for you to let them just purely focus on what they're there for, which is, making real estate deals. You're not there to upload lists or build your own follow-up campaigns. That you only need one person to do that. Everyone doesn't need their own custom system.
Yeah, that's right. So when we talk about our own business, what we're doing and what we're teaching, and those of you watching right now, you may be familiar with this. That is, we kind of take this three-tiered approach. I call it the trifecta of marketing. My business partner, Chris Deal, he just said that it's the trinity of real estate marketing, or off-market lead generation, or direct-to-seller lead generation. We've thrown around a couple names, but at the end of the day, what it is there's three different groups of types of leads that we'll target in our own business. And that is on-market opportunities, which we'll use Privy for that. And you guys have heard us talk about that. I mean, we have lots of videos and stuff about Privy. That's to source the deals, to understand like what's working, and where, by what's working, what I mean is where is the investor activity. And then we're talking about on-market or off-market lead generation, which we're doing text message marketing. We talk about SMS marketing all the time, which is great. And we've been doing it for almost 5 years now. So 5 years specifically targeting SMS, among other things, because we believe that all marketing works, some better than others. If it gets you an ROI, that's what it's about. But then this third is, if they're not off market, if they're not on market, what are they? Well, they're somewhere in between. We can pinpoint that. And what it is expired listings, people that raised their hand and said, I want to sell my property, but then their realtor failed them. You guys know the Realtor Failed You campaign has always crushed it since 2009. I've been doing that. That particular niche is a great niche to target. Well, what if I told you that you could actually automatically target those individuals who raise their hand without having to go to the MLS or work with an agent to get those lists scrubbed, skip traced, and then direct to seller market to those people? And then you had a system that was able to actually automate the process of getting your creative pitch in alignment with all the docs that you need, with everything. And all of it was automated, including the communications and the outreach and the back and forth. Okay, it sounds like a sales pitch. Dude, I'm telling you, this is working for me in my business right now. We were at a convention the other day. Actually, it was about 2 weeks ago. Time flies, right? When you're having fun. And we're standing in line. My business partner was speaking on stage about creative real estate investing. That's what we do. And we were getting blown up on our phone with leads coming in. And we see the text conversations. And Mia was having those text conversations with these people. And I'm like, I mean, I'm a pretty witty guy. I'm really smart. Like, I could think on my feet, and I'm sure a lot of you watching feel the same way. Like, yeah, I could totally do that better than a machine. But I'm telling you, I was like impressed with what conversations were being had. And Sean's the one that built that, by the way. So we're having him on here to talk about that. And when we look at this, I want you to speak a little bit more to the expired listings. There's also for sale by owner. How does that work? How do we get in front of those leads which are motivated, and why pitch the creative angle when we talk about these three, the trifecta or the trinity of real estate marketing for outbound leads?
Exactly. Yeah, it's our favorite leads right now. I mean, so the way it works is they just tell us, you tell us where you want to do real estate, and we put a 50-mile circle around you. And we just give you for sale by owners and expired leads, skip traced. And the whole point is, not only are we like, a lot of other lead providers give you some Excel sheet. Now you have to go take that Excel, you have to go skip trace it, you have to upload it, it's okay, but it's kind of like halfway for us. So what we do is we actually basically find the leads for you, skip trace them, clean the data, upload it for you, and actually text the leads when you want to work. So say you get home from work at 4, your texts are going out for you at 4 every day. But then that's what you said is, we're fairly new, where we started probably 7 months ago, and we meet with our customers every week to feel what their pain points are, and what our pain points used to be. And what people run into, like you said, is, especially if you have a full-time job, you have 2 choices. It's either like you're checking your system all the time and responding to sellers and texting, which is a low dollar per hour task. Like, you don't have to be a genius to do that. It's kind of a waste of your time. Or 2, do what I'm sure you've done, is just hire and train a texting VA. And anyone who's had a texting VA, it's like they'll last for 2 weeks. You spend all your time training them up, and then 2 weeks later they're gone, and you have to go hire a new one. Or maybe they start showing up late for work, or they miss a motivated seller. It's like, it's so bad. So that's really when technology came to the point where it's good enough that we could replace VAs with something that, like you said, works 24/7, always replies within the minute, always has the right reply. And actually, not only does it just reply back, it actually moves the leads for you. So it puts them in the right buckets, whether it's wrong number, or whether it's a drip campaign where you want to follow up, or if they're ready to go right now, it'll actually schedule an appointment for you on your calendar. Without you even knowing it's happening. You'll just be sitting there, and you'll get a text on your phone, hey, you got a new appointment with Chris at 7 o'clock tomorrow. And all you do is literally, you tell us where you want to work, do real estate, we put leads in your system, your AI talks to leads for you, and all you do is show up to the call to actually talk to the seller. So really our whole goal is to take away as much time from that boring admin stuff that just sucks up all your time, is like so demotivating, and just move your time purely to doing real estate and like talking to sellers, which is really where the money's made, and where the skill set matters. You don't make money by being the best texter in the world, but you do make money by being able to structure great deals.
Yeah. And speak to that when it comes to the system, which, by the way, we're going to drop the ball on, or we're going to drop the bomb on what the system is, so you guys can check it out too, which I'll leave a link in the description for you. And if you do this, what we're talking about, ultimately, you're going to get a full month of that completely free of this AI assistant, which my assistant's name is Mia. But speak to that, like, what do you mean when it's helping you structure these creative deals?
Yeah, so the assistant really, it's like you said, so you get to name your assistant, it knows your business, it knows everything about how you structure deals. And our whole goal is to just pre-qualify sellers lightly, and set you up with appointment. And actually within our system, we have a creative real estate script that we've been using and all our clients have been using for a couple years, and we build it out to really what we want to do is disqualify sellers. It's not a qualification script, it's more like a disqualification script. And it runs through in creative real estate. The only two people you ever want to talk to is either someone who's willing to take a discount or someone who's willing to take terms. And that script basically finds that out through really good questions as fast as possible if they're in one of those two buckets. And another tool that we built to help beginners, like the biggest problem that we've seen with creative real estate is there's so many different ways to structure deals that you just get analysis paralysis, where you'll get a motivated seller and they'll tell you exactly what they want. And you're like, all right, what should I do? Is this a subject to deal? Is this a seller finance deal? And even if you do know the type, you're worried you made yourself a bad deal. So another tool we made is actually the creative real estate calculator, which we also have in our system, where you put in simple numbers, like 5 simple numbers, like purchase price, mortgage information, how many years they're willing to be paid until they're paid out. And it automatically tells you the best deal type to do with like a red, yellow, green stoplight chart. And then you actually click on the deal type and it structures the perfect deal for you. So that learning curve that stops so many people from doing creative. I know something I wish I had. I mean, it took me 4 months with personal mentorship to truly click like when to make what offer. And even then it's like nervous that make myself a bad deal or I'm going to lose money. And that's really where our first tool that we added onto the system that people were dying to have is just a simple calculator. That, like I said, simple. You talk to seller, you get your numbers, it makes the offer for you, and it also makes your memorandum and emails it to the seller for you to sign. So
yeah,
you're going from just guesswork to being able to email a deal to your seller on one phone call without being a pro. I mean, it's almost like you have like me on speed dial, tell me what your deal is, and I just give you back exactly what I would do. It's our mental math that we built over 30 years of doing deals. At your fingertips instantly. So,
dude, like things I wish I would have known when I started, things that I wish I would have had as tools when I started. I got mentorship too. I poured into it. I spent a lot of money learning this stuff. And then I spent a lot of time making a lot of mistakes, which of course, if you don't make mistakes, I mean, you learn from your mistakes, but why worry about making them and just avoid them when you have a system like this? I went to this company that was one of the largest real estate education companies in the country. And I worked with them for over 10 years and I was coaching people. And the one thing that people always said was, what contracts do I use? How do I use the contracts? And what you're saying is not only does it actually just drop the leads, the prospects, and then drop the leads. There's a lot that happens. There's a lot that we do. And I teach and train on that. How to understand what list you should pull for motivated seller leads, potentially, right? Their prospects. And then how to skip trace those leads appropriately, what skip tracing service to use, and then how to market to them via SMS, cold calling, and all sorts of other methods to get in front of them. I told you yesterday as we were talking, I was spending $25,000 a month on my marketing campaigns. And our done for you marketing clients in the past have been spending not one, $80,000 all last year total. 80 grand, and it was worth it. Okay, let's put it that way, because our systems work. But why go through the effort to actually build that system out when it's already built for you? So pin down on the contracts. What types of contracts are there? Because I mean, I know I'm using it, but the contracts that you can do, because that's the question that I always get a lot. Well, I don't know how to use the contracts. What contracts should I use? So I know they're already there through this automated process.
Yeah, we've actually updated the system even more so, because that was kind of the next, since people have had a lot of success, our whole goal is within, our big philosophy is real estate is done by doing real estate and talking to sellers. It's not learned in a classroom. And like you said, there's so many master classes where people are paying 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, and they're just getting purely information. And so maybe they're able to make this beautiful Excel offer in their head, but they don't really know what to do when they're actually talking to sellers. Like, for example, on our call last night, we had a woman who spent over $40,000 on coaching. She's never been inside of an apartment with a seller, and she's been doing years of coaching and spent $40,000. And then within a month with us, it kind of forces you to act, because it's like you said, you can't just procrastinate by, oh, I'm building a system, I'm pulling a list, I'm doing this. It's you're forged in the fire. It's almost like the ultimate accountability, where it's like you have motivated sellers in your system texting you right now every day, no matter if you show up to work or not. It's the question, do you want to do a deal? Because the leads are there, they're waiting for you to call them. It's like the ultimate accountability partner. And it's just, people learn so fast and just start doing, like, when people show up every day and work the leads and talk to sellers, it's crazy. I mean, we've had people that had never done a creative deal, and then, you know, within the first month with us are doing one of our, 7 deal strategies, and making, like, yesterday we had a girl, Shri, she was an ex-realtor, never done a creative deal. She's been with us for less than a month, and she just made her first what we call a sandwich lease option transfer for 14 grand, no risk, and over in Florida. But yeah, it's amazing. And like you said, to go back to the documents, people would make those offers with the calculator, and then they come to us and say, hey, Sean, like, I got this subject to deal. How do I make the documents for that? And what our answer used to be is, hey, here's a document with, like, red lines for where you put your info in. And we took it a step further, where now you make an offer on the calculator, and then whenever you're ready to actually close the deal, you can actually print your closing documents, and I'll do your closing documents for you automatically. So you just click that button and it download it onto your hard drive with, like, the seller's information and the exact deal that you just structured. So you don't even really have to know how to do the documents. It walks you through them and actually does them for you. So yeah, it's really.
That's huge, dude. That's huge. And one thing that you said is, I mentioned the education company, that probably everybody watching knows what that education company is. And not to say anything negative about that. Most people, Dan Carter, welcome, by the way. I appreciate you being on here. Any questions you have, we're taking questions live. So just know that if you got a question about anything that we're talking about, this is about basically must see to believe real estate SMS marketing and AI marketing. It's doing it automatically, not just the marketing too. That's the point. It's also doing the contracts ostensibly for you. You have to plug in some numbers and plug in some info, but it's freaking insane. And you mentioned that $40,000, that woman yesterday who was never done a deal, spent that much money. There are so many snake oil people out there that sell the flavor of the week strategy, but this ain't going anywhere. And here's the point. We're not gurus, we're do-roos. Like, do what you're talking about. I think everybody on this channel knows, between my business partners and I, that one, we're not going to bring on anybody who's not actually doing what they're talking about. And two, we're doing what we're talking about, and we're doing it with our joint venture partners. People are coming on our channel, watching these videos, and we're doing deals. We just, like, 5 deals last week we got by joint venture, and we're teaching people how to do creative stuff. But guess what? You can also do creative stuff and have the contracts in front of you, have the lead that was automatically generated for you with this system. And what's up? It's say it again, Chris. Which one? Say what again? I'll definitely address that again. Hey, Christopher. Hey, my business partner's on too. So the point is, you can do all of this stuff without really having to do all of that hard work. And it's not that we're afraid of hard work. We're not afraid of hard work. But when you have a 9 to 5 and you're trying to get out of your grind because you want to get into real estate investing for financial freedom, time freedom, and those buzzwords that are usually just buzzwords for people because they're in the industry and they never get to that point where it actually is realized. This is something that we're doing, that we're actually able to help other people realize that. And that's why we're working with you. About the snake oil salesperson, right? So it's education, right? This Sean, I know you actually mentioned that yesterday, so why don't you talk about that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I won't drop any specific names, but I mean, like I said, the majority of people, when you say majority of people that come to us, they're beginners, but they're not really beginners in the sense that we're the first person they've ever tried real estate with. I mean, that's like the small minority. Almost everyone that comes to us has either tried to do it themselves and spent more money and more time than if they just took a done for you approach and used our system, or came from some education where you go to some hotel room, pay $5,000 to get in the room, you sit through 2 days of PowerPoint trainings, and then they throw you off in the world like, now you can do real estate. And the reality is, like, you can know everything about doing creative real estate deals, but at the end of the day, anyone who does deals consistently knows that real estate is actually marketing. It's a marketing business. And even though you're the best person at real estate in the world, you will not be successful unless you know how to market, which comes down to having the right systems to market for you. So it's really hard to do both. And like I said, I mean, I think you guys have been through it. Most people have been through it trying to make those systems on their own, or going to another system where it's a real estate investment software that's just made by some software geek that's never done a deal. So it's not really what you need anyway. It's like, half baked. So
Well, you
we
identify as both, right? You identify as both. You're a software geek.
yeah,
Real
I'm
estate
more of a
investing.
geek. I was lucky enough. I start off as a geek, and like I could say, it's me. I'm a young, super techie guy. Used to be a rocket scientist. And even me, it took me 6 months to even get to good systems, not even close to how good they are now. And, that's kind of where this came from is, back when I was helping Bill with his coaching, the biggest thing holding people back, like we'd have all these deals we're talking about, and people would say like, hey, how are you getting these leads? And like the people in his group would just be finding FISBOs by hand and calling them with their cell phone. It's like, with that approach, it's impossible to get enough volume to actually get consistent deals. So that's why we got motivated to basically share the systems we were using with our coaching clients in the beginning. And it just was incredible just seeing them for the first day. They've been in that coaching group for 4 years, just getting information. And then within like a couple months of actually having a system that gave them those sellers to actually talk to, I mean, their whole attitude, perspective just completely changed. And they're going on deal appointments, making offers, and like, that's really what it's all about. It's so easy to be in that paralysis mode where it's just, I'm learning, I'm not ready yet. It's just like the only way to learn is to do. And the only way to do is to have a system just throwing you consistent leads,
Yeah. Yo, by the way, Chris is on and he said, wait, what? You were a rocket scientist? And then
Yeah. Yeah.
and then we got a comment said literally the smartest man in the room. So you were a rocket scientist? Quick aside, man. What?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I do what I preach. So like for the first 3 years I got started, I was a rocket scientist, and then worked. Yeah, I was in the Army, and while in the Army, worked as a rocket scientist, designing jet engines for the military. And it's like I said, I was super busy between real estate investing, Army, having a life, and everything else. And that's really where these systems came out of necessity, where it's like, I'd be working, 10-hour days, and then I'd have deals that I was working on, plus I'd have to go find new deals. I just find that even when I started doing deals, it's like, if you don't have the right systems in place, you'll get one lead and then you'll go work that lead and you don't have time to do anything else. So it's almost like your deal flow and go in spurts where you'll do one deal and then your marketing shuts off, and you go do that one deal and then your marketing turns back on 3 months later, once you're done with that deal. So pretty much what we've run into is, just making it so real people like us that only spend an hour a day on real estate or a few hours a week on real estate can actually, do deals consistently instead of just talking about real estate. Like it's turning it from a hobby into a real business is really what we like to do.
100%. So actually, before we get to exactly what it is, because we're about to, Chris said, you should literally be leveraging the phrase, look, it's not rocket scientist when displaying your process or techniques. And you can be
There
the
you go.
authority and say, yeah, trust me, I know it's not rocket science because I'm a rocket
Yeah,
scientist.
there you go.
That's
Using the
awesome.
system isn't rocket science. I promise. It's made for our other partner that we work with, Bill. Bill's partner Pete he's like 60, and technology is the bane of his existence, and even he is able to use the system and work deals with no problem. So whenever I'm designing something, even though the back end, how it actually works is super complicated, what you see and what you work with, I always think of Pete, and I'm like, if Pete can do it, then it's good enough. But if not, it shouldn't be hard. It's just everything we make, I make it as simple as possible. So it's just clicking buttons. It's not hard.
That's awesome, man. Okay, so for everybody who's wondering, because I know that we've kind of delayed, what is this platform that you're talking about? This is called not REI Reply, Creative REI Reply, and I'm going to drop a link and you guys can check it out. I mean, I know that every single person is going to go check it out, but if you do use the link I drop in there, you get a done for you AI assistant 1 month for free. So that's Mia, bro. That's who is literally getting deals teed up for me, for Chris, for my business partner, Brad, and we are freaking crushing it. And of course, there's other things that we still talk about. And I wouldn't necessarily say, as a successful real estate investor in our team, that, hey, this is the only thing you should ever do. But guess what? It could be. And that's the point, especially if you're a 9 to 5er. When you're ready to scale your business, of course, we have all the information. We talk about how to do that, how to scale your team, this and that. But if you're in a position where you're fulfilling your passion, even if you don't have a 9 to 5 job, right? You talked about, Sean, yesterday, somebody who was super, super like smart when it comes to real estate. And I forgot his name. I'm going to say his name, Ian, right? And you're like, this guy could be uber successful, but he decided that he was going to not go full force and just, do part-time real estate and then do whatever the heck he wanted to. He didn't have a job. He doesn't have a 9 to 5 job. And by the way, Carson, I'm going to drop the link right here. I was just bloviating. But isn't that right though? Like Creative REI Reply. So tell us a little bit more about that as far as like the platform and some other people because I know yesterday when we talked, there were other people who were using it and they went from, a lot of inaction analysis paralysis into like 2 weeks into it, they were crushing deals and making thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I'll probably show it briefly in a second, just because I'm a visual guy. I know a lot of other people like to see it. But before I share, it's like, quick story. Like one of my favorite people we work with. If you go to the page, there's tons of testimonials, probably hundreds of them. But Hernando is one of my favorites because he's actually he started with us in December and has been in and out of the hospital, never done creative. And he was actually a home flipper. He used to flip homes and never really knew what creative real estate was, kind of heard about it, but never did it. And I'm telling you, he's around 65 years old. And within a month, he got his first slot deal, which was like 20 grand. And that was amazing. It blew his mind. And, as you could see in the testimony, it's like, it's the easiest 20 grand I've ever made in my entire life. There's no risk. He didn't take the deed in his name. Literally all he had to do was sign an option agreement for $100, find his tenant buyer, his rent to own buyer, be the middleman, the facilitator, and he made his check and he was gone. And, he's good on the phones from, his days of flipping, but never done a creative deal. And since then, the past 4 months, he's on to now he's doing his 5th deal and getting his 5th check. And he hasn't taken a single deed in his name. He's only put $100 into each deal he's made. And he's just absolutely killing it. Because like he said, Hernando, he's a killer on the phone. Like he knows how to negotiate. He knows how to talk to people. He knows how to follow up. What his struggle was the systems and knowing the deal structuring. And that's really what we provided him, because like now it's just he logs into his system or the AI makes an appointment for him and he just talks to sellers. And that's what he loves to do. And that's what makes him money. So it's like he doesn't have to worry about downloading lists of leads, uploading leads, skip tracing, follow-up sequences, because honestly, he doesn't know how to do it and he doesn't have to. Right. So that's really like one of my favorite, avatars. But like I said, we have anywhere from beginners to like people like yourself who are doing multiple deals a month, and utilizing the power of AI, because AI is great for beginners, but it's even more amazing with people are doing 5,000 leads a month, where it's like before you'd have to have 3 virtual assistants working together and talking back and forth. Now it's AI doesn't care if you're putting 5,000 leads in a day or 5. It's the same to it. So it's not going to complain.
So quit. Dan said, let's see the platform in action. You got control for screen sharing right now, so you can show it off, man. This is
let's do it. Yeah. So sorry for the blurs. I just don't want to dox anybody, but this is actually one of our users' accounts. So really the way we set you up is right now, like you said, you just tell us where you do real estate and we put a 50-mile bubble around you, a circle, and we'll give you for sale by owners. So those are people that listed their own property, and expired listings. So those are people that tried to list their property, sell traditionally with a realtor and it didn't work. So that they've raised their hand saying, hey, I want to sell and I need a creative approach. So we put those leads in your system every single day, filter them. So you can see here, filtered this. So if you just scroll down, every single one of these leads is put in there by us, filtered for mobile phone number, and then texted with a customized campaign. And a lot of people, without getting the weeds with texting, it used to be called text blasting because you could send 5,000 texts at once and they'd all go through. And that's why we were all getting like 5 texts a day from random people. And if you noticed, you don't really get many texts from people anymore because they've made it super hard to get text through. So we have a bunch of secret proprietary technology working in the background to make sure that we get over 95% text deliverability. So you're not wasting money on leads that never get texted and your system getting shut down.
Well,
So
you
it's a
are a
really big
rocket
thing.
scientist, so I
Yeah.
mean, makes
I mean,
sense.
it was hard, man. I mean, like, if anyone has been a marketer for a while, there's like the Google slap where Google changed everything and no one was making money the next day. It was dark times where we woke up, Twilio changed, the phone providers, and Twilio changed everything. And we woke up and we had texts that were going through perfectly one day. And then we woke up and now, 40%, 60% were getting filtered and our accounts were being shut down every day because they're getting blocked. And majority of people are still in that world where they're just living with getting 50% through and getting blocked all the time and wasting money and wasting leads just because they haven't figured it out yet. So it's the hardest time ever to text, but it's also the best time ever because there's the least amount of competition because people are still catching up and figuring out how to actually get text messages through. Which comes down to just texting like a human. But we basically made the geeky software in the background that makes it look like you're texting like a human. So
Gotcha.
it's
Yeah,
like the
dude.
classic age-old war.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Can I merge this with my current Go High Level account? Dan said.
No, this is based on Go High Level. This is Creative REI Reply. We're partners with REI Reply, which is really popular, been around forever with David and Susan. Same people, including myself, run Creative REI Reply. So, everyone says REI Reply, the best thing about it is the support is bar none, which I've actually experienced. I started building out our platform on REI Reply and loved it. And that's basically how we ended up linking up was, REI Reply is amazing, but it's more of a do-it-yourself approach where it has, it has everything for you in order to do all the trainings and build your own follow-up campaign, build your own text campaign, build all of on your own. This has meant that out of the box, literally you sign up and join this platform. The next day you're talking to sellers. There's no building, there's no doing 5 hours of training, there's no learning the system. It's super intuitive. But yeah, if you could tell, if Go High Level, the very base is Go High Level. And then we just added on and bolted on a bunch of tech in the background that you don't even see and you don't even have to worry about.
Yeah,
So,
at this point, Go High Level to me is like a blank canvas, and then
totally.
you're the artist. So not
Yeah.
every artist rendering is going to be the same. And in this case, if you haven't seen what recently has been coming out from all of the AI art that you can use and you can actually create yourself. I say create yourself, but you're not doing anything. This is that. This is the AI generated piece of artwork that is going to win the Del Mar art show, which is in San Diego. So that reference probably is only for us in San Diego. But
Totally.
dude, it is killer. Thanks for answering that question. I just wanted to
Yeah.
let them know.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
yeah,
Yeah. And like,
continue.
as you can see in like here, this is just one of our users that joined maybe, I think a month and a half ago. And, he has 4,000 leads here, can always upload his own leads and use all of our systems and campaigns. And as far as the AI, if I just filter for tag here with appointment requested, I can see these are all of the leads, these 62 leads, all requested appointments through him via AI. And he never talked to them. He never texted them. It's all done for him. So if you open it up, you can see, we'll see if it's filtered at all. But yeah, all these conversations that the AI is having, I'll undo privacy mode for a second. This is all AI. So we're not interested to go back to market. No problem. Congratulations and fantastic. I mean, there's tons of these conversations just getting better every single day where it does everything for you. Where you had to go in the past and do wrong number or put someone manually in a follow-up or go back and forth 5 times to figure out a time that worked good to have an appointment. It's all done for you. So really our process is having the AI schedule appointments like this for you. And then here, let me unblur for a second. Here you can see these are the 5 numbers we talked about earlier that you need for a creative transaction. So you really just put in your numbers here for, say, the Zillow value, seller desired price. Let's say they want 90 grand. You put in monthly mortgage payment, let's say 800. Current mortgage balance, let's say 75. So you're just following. We have a script here in the system that all of our users follow. So it makes it super simple. You just follow the script. The red are numbers that go in the calculator. The blue are just motivation notes that you can save here on the right. You go through the script. So let's say minimum deposit, they want 3,000 and term length 5 years. So now you have, in the past, you'd have to like think forever and like know a bunch about creative to even know what this type of deal is. But now you literally just click, click calculate here, and all the numbers come in automatically for you. And it tells you green, yellow, orange, red. With like green, like this is an amazing deal. Like you need to move on this now. Yellow, like it might be good. You might have to tweak it. And like red, like it's not a fit. So I guess you and I know just from glancing at these numbers, it's like a subject to deal. You open it up and you can see the deal structured for you with your max level offer that you can tweak live with the seller on the phone, because every seller is different. Some are going to want more monthly payment. Some are going to want more down payment. So you basically present your beginning offer here and then tweak the numbers as you need. And then you can actually scroll down and see your deal analysis to make sure it's still a good deal. Right.
Yeah, I'm
And then,
curious. How many of
yeah.
you are looking at this right now by dropping in a comment section right now? How many of you are looking at this and thinking, I wouldn't know how to do these contracts if I didn't have this step-by-step hand holding exactly how to do it? Don't be shy. It used to be us, right? But
Yep.
now it's not so much about we're trying to get in front of a learning curve. That could be the case for you. But for us, this is speed and efficiency. And actually, this truly is real estate investing made easy. That's why we're talking about it here on this channel. This is
Yeah.
awesome.
Even us who we know how to structure a deal. It's like, I mean, why would you want, I still would much rather have this because I'm on the phone with a seller under a lot of pressure in a high stakes situation. I'm over here trying to do mental math to figure out, oh, okay, well, if I pay him $700 a month instead of 500, does that ruin the deal? Can I do that? Or, there's no point, just have it. Even for people that do know how to structure deals, it's still a huge, huge benefit because anyone who's closed a creative deal or talked to a seller knows the first offer is almost never, it's almost never how often you make your initial offer and that's what you end up closing with, almost never. It's always a back and forth, which is why this is just so valuable. It gives you your best starting point and then lets you change things from there live on the fly, gives you your benefits to the seller, why the seller should do this deal type instead of a traditional transaction. And then your deal analysis to show you all your money. What we harp on is money now, your money monthly, and your money later. And your cash on cash. It gives you everything you need.
Yeah, that's insane. I wanna pause because I want to go back to this person's account that you are in right now. You
Yep.
said 4 weeks. They're 4 weeks into it, right?
Yeah, for maybe 5 weeks. Yep.
Okay, regardless, 4 or 5 weeks, and you were using the term that there's 4,000 something leads in there. What you mean is there's 4,000 something prospects in there. The leads that
Exactly.
were generated were 60 what? 60 what?
Yeah, 62 appointments being set all by AI. You have to
Okay.
talk to your sellers and
I
once the skit. Yeah.
Bro, this is bonkers. Okay, so Chris is on here too. Just know that what we've done in the past, our clients have paid us for done for you marketing to generate 30 plus motivated seller leads every single month. And we 30, 40, 50 leads every single month was $7,997 a month. And people paid it gladly because of the return on investment that our done for you marketing got. So look at this. $7,979 for 50 leads every single month. And this one just generated within 4 weeks, 64 leads, hot leads too, not crap leads, hot leads, people who are raising their hand to want to sell their property creatively, where you can literally make money right now cash flow it. And if you want to, they want to refi you out, you can make money later in a chunk. Or if you want to sell the note, you can make money then. That's what we're talking about right now.
Exactly.
This is
Yeah.
bonkers.
Yeah, it's totally your oyster. I mean, right now I talked about the for sale by owners and expireds, but as you know, and people on the inside know, we're problem solvers, and we meet with our clients every single week to hear what they need to do to like do even more deals. And the number one response was, "Hey, I have all this time now. I'm not pulling lists. I'm not texting people back. I got AI for that." They're like, I don't know what to do with myself. I just do one call with a seller a day, maybe 2 calls to sellers, follow up a little bit. I don't know what to do with myself. I need more leads, because now that I'm not doing all the work, I'm like talking more sellers than ever. And they're actually doing more deals in less time, because all the admin and the stuff that used to be, just kind of procrastinating with is gone. And it's almost forcing you have to do the value add work of talking to sellers. The rest is done for you. Like, you don't have the option of procrastinating. So like our next thing coming out is done for you off market leads as well, where instead of right now we do the for sale by owner and expireds. Coming out very shortly, we have done for you off market leads as well. So people that haven't listed it, and exclusive leads where you're looking. We have like 7 lists that are our favorite creative lists of all time, such as like senior out of area owners, like tired landlords as one of them, or we have subject to lists. And we'll be able to, you'll be able to do as many leads as you want per month. You get to choose, and they'll be put in your system just like these leads, texted for you the same way. And the best part, it'll be cheaper than if you did it yourself. So like if you were to go to PropStream or whatever you use, go figure out which list to pull it, skip trace it, upload it, text it. It would cost you more to do that yourself than us doing it for you every single day. So that's really the next key we have. That's going to be a total game changer, especially for the people ready to, turn it on and do more volume.
So what did I say? You have to see it to believe it. It's insane. Like, especially where we're coming from, having that done for you marketing service now that people are spending and joyfully spending almost $8,000 a month to get these leads that are converting at a high rate. Like, why bother? And then that still works. All of this stuff still works for people. But if you're just getting started, and even if you're not, you've been trying to get out of the grind, like, why not? This is an easy button that is literally right here for you. And by the way, I did get can you drop the link? I did drop the link to this, and I'll just drop it again so that y'all know and you have it. What I wanted to tell you about, because we're running low on time, is one, get your questions in if you have any questions, because whatever you guys want, like, we're going to show up for you. That's why we're here. And if you're watching the replay, drop them in the comments, because we respond to everything. You guys who are subscribers know that we will literally on Feedback Fridays typically go through every single question, and we will address those questions live. So we're not going to shy away from questions, even if you guys say, "Oh, you suck," and then I'll say, "Thanks for your feedback. I appreciate it." But at the end of the day, if you have questions, drop them in there. I just dropped the link. Sean is going to be on what many of you are going to be joining us with on our Creative REI Intensive. So for those of you who signed up for the Creative REI Intensive, it starts next Tuesday, and it's a 9-week intensive. That's why we call it intensive, and where we're going step by step through building a creative real estate investing business. And this is one key component to it. So I'm not going to go through the whole list. What I will do is I'll drop a link in the description a little bit later to where you can check out what that Creative REI Intensive is if you're interested in learning more, leveling up your game, automating your business, and just crushing it. Because it's not just about wholesaling. That's what have you done for me lately? You're going to find very quickly that excitement of getting your first wholesale deal or your first rehab deal across the finish line will dwindle, because you are going to find yourself putting yourself in a position where you have a job that doesn't scale unless you do what we're talking about right now: getting creative deals that cash flow, that pay you now, that pay you in perpetuity, and then pay you later. So that's what we're about when it comes to Creative REI. And that's why he's going to be joining us on week 2 for auto direct to seller marketing with AI, where we'll dive way deeper into this and show you exactly what you need to do to get this up and running for yourself. So you guys don't want to miss that. You definitely want to sign up for that, and I'll leave a link in the description. So that's my little plug. My plug is over. Back to you.
Yeah, I guess we should. Well, we teased it, so we may as well show it. But the sending the offers is here. So, like, as soon as you structure a deal with the seller, we call it memorandum. As soon as you are ready to go, you can either download it here. So, if I open this up, it is the exact offer. I don't want that. This is the exact offer. It's going to have your business's logo on it that you're going to send to your sellers. This is the exact terms that we just fiddled with in the calculator. The benefits to seller, super professional. And if we go back, we can actually just click create memorandum and send that memorandum to the seller's email instantly. And while you're on the phone, just say, hey, go open up your email. We'll review the offer together. And if they love it, they'll click save. You'll get a text and you'll get a copy of the saved version. If not, they can reject it, even put comments why, and you can come back with another offer. So that's the that's the memorandum. And like I said, there's also the official closing documents here, where it walks you through step by step on actually creating your real closing document. So here you can see it created our exact purchase and sales agreement for subject to in 1 second. So what used to take you days, and you're like worried if you put in the info right, or you're gonna like blow the deal because you don't know how to do the docs, it just was done for you in 2 seconds.
That's awesome.
And you can download it and DocuSign it to your seller right now. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's huge. Yeah.
So I heard Dan say, well, he dropped in the comment, he said the link is corrupt. I've actually experienced that a couple times with some of the links. Can you drop in our Zoom chat the link for them to go to for the done for you AI assistant for 1 month free with
Yeah.
Creative REI
Yeah.
Reply?
Let me go. I'll grab the link while we're chatting, and I'll make sure it's going to send you to a webinar. And so you just can see more about the product and our philosophy of how we do, which is I'm sure very similar to Christian, how we do creative real estate, and a bit more about if you're still a beginner, what creative real estate is, what the benefits are, and how we actually do the deals. And so even if you don't get the system, you're not interested in the system, I still highly recommend doing the webinar, because like 75% of it's just going to be teaching from someone who's been doing it for 25 years. And at the end, it'll have a demo, a more in-depth demo showing you everything with the system and how it is so good at making things easy for you and taking you to the next level. So I'm gonna be dropping that link. It's gonna be a quick webinar. Like I said, it's mostly teaching. So even if you're not interested in the system, definitely still check it out. The worst thing you could do is just learn a little bit and lose nothing. It's free. So
Yeah.
drop that link.
Pretty sure every single person is going to be interested in the system. I mean, this is if you're putting it in the perspective of somebody that is been through it, right? You and me, my
Yeah.
business partners, dude, I've been doing that since 2009, and yeah, there's no other system that I've seen that is this high level. No pun intended that it's built on go high level.
Yeah.
But Chris is jumping on, and he's got some things to say before we wrap it up and respect your time. You did block off an hour. Chris.
Yeah, I
What's
got an
up?
hour.
Chris closes your deal is here. You've been watching this. What's going on, man? What are you thinking?
What's up, man? I'm thinking freaking like Skynet, Terminator 2, like,
Yeah, but you already know we're using this, and you were speaking on stage a couple weeks ago, and we had leads coming in that were qualified appointments on the calendar for us. As we're sitting in the front row watching you speak, we're like, yeah, here you go. This is after this, we got our calendar filled up for the next week. It was beautiful.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we barely even started dipping our toes into it, and literally every day there's like a new appointment booked on the calendar. And we actually just sent out a contract for a 5-property portfolio in Cleveland, Ohio, that we're expecting to get signed, which is going to be, and that's a pretty dope creative deal as well. So, yeah, man, this is awesome. We love it. As a matter of fact, when we first signed up and we're using it, we're like obviously like double checking, like, okay, like let's look at these conversations. What should we be doing? What shouldn't we be doing? And we jumped on with Sean, and live while we were actually like talking about some of the conversations that were going on in there, we literally opened up one of them and we're watching AI live, just like schedule an appointment, and then boom, it popped on our calendar, like right in front of our faces. So it was like, it's like, sure, it's like really cool when it's happening behind the scenes and you're like, oh, there's a, something popped up on the calendar, but it's even cooler like to like witness it live firsthand. So, yeah, man, it's pretty dope. And so awesome job with the system. And I know you're constantly tweaking and making improvements to the system along the way. So I'm really excited to see where you go with it. But I think I don't know if Christian missed the comment, and we talked about it before, but we came up with the name Mia because we're like, there's, with texting, there's limited characters, right? And so we're like, we don't want it to be like Guinevere, because then you're like just wasting characters. We're like, let's make something short. So we picked Mia because we like Googled like what are like the most what was it?
Like neutral.
Yeah, the most neutral or the most like liked short names for girls.
Yeah.
And we came up with Mia. And then now looking back at it, I'm like, this is awesome because when you flip it in reverse, it's AIM, artificial intelligence marketer, which is like perfect. So I love it.
Why weren't you here like 2 months ago when I came out with AI? And I could have used that.
Right?
Yeah, all the best acronyms are too late.
You still can. You still
Yes.
Yeah, all right, I'll go steal it. Yeah, maybe I'll try. I'll name my AI Gertrude. And I'll go different strategy. I'll go nice old lady that they feel bad first. They schedule an appointment. My AI is going to be Gertrude. So
or how about Mrs. Doubtfire? Hello, this is hello. You Doubtfire.
There you go, man. That is awesome.
Aged myself right there.
Yeah, well, it's a good movie. So even so,
in 2023, it's an offensive movie.
Oh, yeah. Is it?
Oh. Probably.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. All I know is this is bonkers because we're getting leads hand over fist, just like doing nothing. I like that because what I'm doing is spending time with my son, both of them, and my wife, and so are you. You just got back from hanging out with your little girl.
Well, yeah, just got done going to UPS, signing docs to sell a note that we created, which we also note, invest, and sell notes. We create notes and then we, to get cash flow. And then because cash flow is great, I'd rather have the cash now. So then we find a note buyer and sell the note, a little bit of a discount, but we still cash that out. And then we're also selling one of our rentals in Florida that we had been cash flowing for a while on. And, we bought it for like 68 in September, and we're closing on it Monday for 90. So it's not a bad come up for 6 to 9 months.
Nope. And it was private funds that we used to purchase it. We
didn't use $1 of our own money. So It's great.
It's awesome stuff. So if you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat because we're taking questions and we're going to be wrapping up soon, but we are definitely going to have Sean back in addition to being involved in our Creative REI Intensive, which is coming up. And again, that link's not going to be available right now. You guys don't have to go to that yet. Check out the webinar. Dan said the link is working now for that I've dropped in the live chat here. I'll pin it in the comment section. So those of you watching the replay can just go to that right now if you haven't yet done that. And it's in the description. So,
when's the Creative Intensive start, Christian?
Next Tuesday. It's coming up, man.
Coming Tuesday.
This coming Tuesday. And if people are watching this late and they're like, man, I missed that. No, you didn't. We have the replay. It's 9 full weeks. We're doing this till September, every single week. And that includes also our mastermind, our Made Easy community. So you're going to be in office hours to just like get all your concerns addressed. Like Sean talked about, there's a lot of people out there who have spent time and money, 40 grand on education, and they do nothing with it. Here's the deal. We don't, and everybody knows this who subscribes to our channel. We're focused on action, right? We're not focused on guru smoke show theory. So that's all I'll say about that. And
by the way, Mr. H. Gainer asked, Hollis. Okay. Have you used this to find note holders? No, we have not used this to find note holders currently, but that's a great idea. And it is something we will probably implement in the future. We basically, when you create a seller finance note, once you become a mortgage holder, which is interesting, like, so for any of you who have not created a seller finance note, you'll find this out as soon as you go through our training and you do it. You create a seller finance note, and then within 3 to 6 months, you'll start getting letters in the mail from people wanting to buy your seller finance note. So you don't really have to do much tracking down because they're going to come after you. So,
oh yeah.
which is great. But I, I was able to link up with a guy who's like really, really knowledgeable. He's been doing it for like 25, 30 years. And just, he was super open to sharing his secrets for creating notes and like the best way to structure notes so you can sell them at the most money and make it the most profitable for you, but also, put it together in a scenario where it makes sense for the buyer as well. And so there's some interesting things about notes that I've been learning recently that, I otherwise wouldn't have known. So that's going to help us structure better notes in the future. And interestingly enough, the notes that are more appealing for note buyers, the terms are actually slightly more appealing for the sellers too. So, which generally, like as a buyer, you're buying if we're buying a home for a rental, we want it the longest amortization, the lowest monthly payment, like the lowest interest rate, like all these terms that are going to benefit us. But if the plan is to sell that note, or sell the property and sell the note, then, you kind of want it to be more reasonable terms for the seller too. So it's an interesting dynamic, but
yeah. Well, I want to be respectful of everybody's time. Those of you who have joined us, thank you so much. Hollis, thank you. Dan, thank you for everyone who's on here engaging with us, and end it here. But what we're going to do is we're going to do this again, and we're going to go even deeper into this because this is a topic that is absolutely up and coming right now. If you were to search SMS Marketing AI, this video right here is at the top of the list. So it's being searched for, and people need this information because we're all after the same thing, right? Time freedom, financial freedom. Those are just buzzwords to most people, but they don't have to be. And that's the point. So continue to follow us as we make real estate investing easy. Sean, any last remarks? Anything else you wanted to say before we jump off?
No, thanks for having us on. Like you said, there's a lot of gurus over there that spend all their money instead of investing back in the product. It's just marketing, and that's why you've heard of all these other companies. Like I said, we've been around for 7 months. Every user we've gotten is through word of mouth, just because we get results. This is the first time we've actually even advertised, our system, and so we're super dedicated to just giving the best product possible, reinvesting in it, and just giving something that works. We're not here for 2 months to go get your money and then they leave. It's people that come on, they get results, and that's why they don't leave. So yeah, appreciate people, share this, help bring people on, and, hopefully, see you guys on the webinar. And if it's a good fit, we can help you, make real estate easy.
Absolutely. Yeah. And by the way, our team collectively with Sean and the team over at Creative REI Reply, we're working on some things in the background to give out some extra bonus value to, our collective community. So stay tuned for that. We'll be rolling out some really, really dope things that you guys are going to love, and it's going to help you make real estate investing easy in your own business and help you scale up and level up your game. So really excited.
Awesome, dude. Thank you all so much. We'll talk to you soon.